something slight. Getting the people what they want. Let me change this light up right here. Let me see what I got. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it either. Hold on. Nah. I like that. Let me see. Is there ain't no yellow up in here? Let me see. Ain't no yellow. I like. Ooh, I think I found some. Yeah, there it go. There it go. Right there. Let me back this up just a taste. Yeah. I like the look of that. Now I could go over here, check this out myself. Me getting the mix. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Yeah. Let me get 1 second. Alright, y'all. Y'all know what it is. This let's get to it. And that's a tool with a U cause I always got you on mind. And y'all know who I am. I'm King Sam the Dirtbag. If you heard something crazy about me, it's probably true. It's probably true. So if you want the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Matter of fact, you can't handle the truth. Let's get straight to it. Yesterday, I was talking about skeletons in your closet. Sometimes you may have done some things in your life that you ain't proud of. You ain't proud of. And there's a whole bunch of things you could do. And you know what I didn't even touch on yesterday is apologizing to people, letting them know that you're remorseful for the stuff you did. So let me get the ball rolling. Let me be the first one. Let me apologize. I want to take this time. There's only a couple people in the chat right now, but if y'all do see this later on or something, I want to take a minute to apologize for all those I may have hurt, all those I may have rubbed the wrong way in a negative fashion. Not just being myself, but those I may have caused injury or harm to, disrespected. I used to fight a lot when I was younger. Those I may have put my hands on. Those I may have cussed out unjustly. Those, who I ain't had no business treating wrong. I want to take this time right here to apologize, to let you know that, for what it's worth, I wish I could take it back. And I know that might not mean much at this current time, but if it do mean anything, I would like to issue an apology, a heartfelt apology. And you don't have to accept it, but I am issuing it just in case it hit your ears. You could know that I do have remorse, and I wish I could have took it back, and I wish I was a better person. I'm gonna start there, and then I want to read something right quick. Let me do this right quick. This what I was checking out. Somebody put this on me earlier. Well, no, they put it on a couple days ago. It's something that I thought pertained to me, so I wanted to get to it right quick. And it's antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. It's a personality disorder defined by a chronic pattern of behavior that disregards the rights and well-being of others. People with ASPD often exhibit behavior that conflicts with social norms, leading to issues with interpersonal relationships, employment, and legal matters. The condition generally manifests in childhood or early adolescence, with a high rate of associated conduct problems and its tendency for symptoms to peak in late adolescence and early adulthood. Y'all check that out. I wasn't diagnosed with that, but somebody dropped that jewel on me, man. And when I was reading it, is a larger section in that involved with it. But when I was reading it, a lot of those symptoms and a lot of those behavior patterns lined up with mine. And I think I ain't gonna say did have because I think it's still in the mix. I think a lot of those problems and tendencies I still got to this day. I'm working on them, and hopefully I can get by 'em. I think it was saying something about when you get in your 40s, it kind of taper off, but I think that hit the nail right on the, it hit the nail on the head when it come to me, man. I wasn't even regarding myself. Not only just other people, I was disregarding my own well being, my own health. And I can remember numerous times people like, man, why did you do that? And I couldn't even, for the life of me, I couldn't even give a good answer. I didn't know why. I ain't know why. It's like if I had took a second to consider the consequences, to consider the harm, to consider the hurt that I may have been causing others and myself, I wouldn't have did it. But I did, so it's like, man, I want to get in there, man, and just this, like I said before, issue that apology, and y'all see my face, man. If you know me, you know me. There's probably a couple other people that look like me, but I think I still look the same as I did when I was younger or similar. So it's like, man, I ain't asking for forgiveness, man. I just wanted to issue that apology. And if you find it in your heart to forgive me, man, I hope you know, this kind of works a little bit as far as trying to help you get past what's going on as well, because it ain't about me, it's really about you. Let's get to it. Y'all check that out, because I had a lot of people that I hung with, and when they say birds of a feather flock together, and I think we all exhibited some of the same behavior patterns. So y'all check that out if y'all can, man. First of all, if y'all watching this, give me a thumbs up, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the video and leave a comment. I got the chat open. So if y'all checking this out, man, say what's up in the chat. Let me know who checking in. Let me know where you from. Let me know, have you ever wronged anybody? Or has anybody ever wronged you? And, did you issue an apology? Or did they apologize to you? And how did that apology make you feel? Or if you did something wrong to somebody, how did it make you feel? Or, like, did you apologize? And if you apologize, did it make you feel better? Or did it allow you to heal? That's what we trying to get to. Trying to get to a healing place, man. A place where, I can heal and I can help others heal that I done caused some sort of distress. That's why I'm at with it. And I hope this ain't falling on deaf ears. Y'all check in with me, man. Like I said, like the video. Like the video, man. Leave a comment, share this junk, engage with my page, man. Y'all know what it is. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. I seen something on the news. And it's like, I want to go a couple different ways with this. The Hispanic community, the Latino community, they kind of under siege right now. They under siege right now. The government kind of going real hard with them. They going real hard with them. And I think out in, California, they protesting. And they sending troops out there. They sending Marines out there. I think the Secretary of the Defense, he's standing on business, and he's saying, like, the community has a right to be safe. And when people start using rhetoric like that, that mean they ain't got no compassion for you, and they'll turn up on you. So, I just wanted to, talk about that a little bit, because It's a twofold conversation. I wanted to reference to like the NAACP. Back in the day, you had the NAACP, and they represented people. They provided legal, you know, benefits to people. They provided lawyers. Uh, they helped people with counsel, and they used to hand pick cases. They provide a lawyer for you and all that stuff, and they would represent you. They would, drum up support for you, give people the support financially and with their time. But what they used to do was hand pick cases to where there was no reproach to the person in mind. Like, if something happened to, an honor roll student, or, this person ain't never had no problems in the community, but all of a sudden he's being attacked racially and unjustly, they would stand up for that, because they was trying to set a precedent and spotlight the type of, unjust, like, assault that was being committed on people, and like just bring it to the public light. And they wanted people to see that, man, this person was an upstanding member of the community. Why is this happening to him? It cannot be any other reason but a racial bias. And I think that was the cornerstone of what the NAACP was. But later on, I think the movement was co-opted, because now that same attention was being garnered for people who weren't of good standing, so to speak. I think it was a case where some kids, they seedy background. I think they was accused of raping a girl, and I think they had wind up what it was. I think she was they had solicited, and I think something happened, but I think they did engage with the woman, and someone awry, and they wind up getting accused of rape. So they wanted the NAACP to, represent them, support them. And for a while, the NAACP was like, we can't, because we trying to do this, but this is what you representing right here. So it's like, man, we hands off. And they looked at the NAACP with, a little bit of vitriol and a little bit of frustration. But to me, it's like, when you start diluting what's going on, you take the impact away from a situation. And it's like, if a group of people already been doing it this way, why are you trying to do it how they trying to do it? Come up with your own creative way of doing that to separate yourself, because if not, they're going to think all of it's the same. And it's like I said, it loses impact. And now, when the next group of people come by doing the same thing, they be like, no, that ain't nothing there. So it's like, you got to be careful when it comes to, standing up for something, standing up on business, sacrificing for a cause. Is the cause just? Is the cause just? And of course, everybody got their own opinions and their own frame of minds, and they gonna feel like they supposed to get the same thing regardless of the situation, because this this me and my peoples now, yeah, even if it ain't the same. And it's like, it's a crazy situation, because what that does, it takes away from the luster. It takes away from the luster. And why I bring that up is, you have a situation to where, you got the Hispanic community, they up right now out there, and I don't see it coming down no time soon. They sending troops in there and everything, and them people, they feel like they being slighted. They like, why you sending us and this and that? And it's like you at an impasse. You at a moment in time to where, you know, what's really going on? Like what y'all standing on? What y'all standing on? Like I said, I think they ODing on these people. They going real hard, and it's like, who to side with? Whose side should you be on in this situation? If y'all listening, tap in. Let me know. Like, do you agree with those people that's out there protesting, or do you agree with the administration's stance on the situation and saying we need to get everybody up out of here? Myself, I think it's harsh behavior, and when you see other groups of people being handled in a crazy way, like I don't see it as look at them over there going through it. I always see it as, man, what if the shoe was on my foot? What if the shoe was on my foot? What if somebody was handling me like that? Because even though you might believe that, you know, they doing the right thing, that's what we need to do. Sometimes you got to get a little drastic. You can't stop there. You got to say, for some, reason that you can't foresee right now, what if that was you and your people's getting handled? Some people ain't even illegal, being, no due process involved, being shipped off, being handled almost like this. Almost kind of remind you when they was hunting down, like, what was the Asian people back with the internment camps and stuff like that? Or, it almost put you in the mind of like Nazi Germany. It's like they hunting people and they got like the ICE acting as some sort of task force, like almost like the Gestapo or something. And it's like, man, like I don't look at things when people going through it and just be like, man, yeah, handle them. Because like you'll look up one day and it'll be you. It'll be you. Especially people from my community. People from my community, man, our history in America has been a rough one. A rough one. A rough one. And just the other year we was out in the streets marching and protesting for George Floyd. So, today it's Hispanics, tomorrow it could be us or it could be you. So that's why I say you just can't look at it like with a one-sided heart, because you don't know. You want to look at it from both sides, because these are actual people. This is somebody's mama. This is somebody's sister. This somebody's son and daughter. What if this was your son going to school and they snatch him up? You like, man, according to his skin color, according to how he looked, according to what we heard, the rumors, according to the information we got, man, he ain't American no more. He don't belong here no more. We sending him to wherever. Like, no notice. Like, you going somewhere. Like, just man. And that's why I say, it is a deep situation. So I just wanted to look at it from those 2 points of views, because a lot of the situations that, we find ourselves in, we just getting stepped on. Like you think about Trayvon Martin, think about George Floyd, and them people lost their life. Them people lost their life. They ain't just get shipped off somewhere. They got shipped off to the essence. And ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back. So I just wanted to, I ain't want to be super long with it. I wanted to share that, antisocial, gem on you. I wanted to, send my apologies out there. Then I wanted to touch on that situation with the Hispanic community. I think it's the Hispanics and the Latinos. So, man, myself, I hate to see people you know, getting, for lack of better words, treaded on. They getting the knee on their neck, man. And they being handled. Ain't no nicknaming about it. Like the administration saying, they trying to get all the illegals up out of here. But in the process, you handling people. You handling people and you not giving them no due process. So, I ain't a part of the administration. I ain't, I ain't even on the good side. Most of my life, I haven't even been a law-abiding citizen. So, I just, I ain't gonna get too preachy and cover too much of a message or nothing like that. But, you know, it's okay to say what you see. I got eyes to see, and I can see people being handled. And I'm quite sure on the other side of this is somebody saying, man, but if we don't do it, and then you're going to have terrorists over here, and you're going to have the worst of the worst over here hiding, and you can't, give no quarter to somebody like that. But what about the people that's not a part of that? Do they still get punished? Hmm? It's okay to punish somebody who's not supposed to be punished in order to, you know, carry out your goals? No, it's not. So, we gotta find a balance, man. We gotta find a balance. And with that, I'm about to shut it down, man. My case is closed, man. My case is closed. Because if y'all want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, continue to tap in with Let's Get To It. And y'all know I'm King Sam the Dirtbag. If you heard something crazy about me, it's probably true. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm out of here. Let me see if I can. Hold on.